The large alien ship moved slowly through the quiet part of space. Captain Dak of the Galactic Union patrol vessel, Star Watcher, looked at the strange readings on his screen. His 6 eyes blinked in confusion. "Commander Vrock, come look at this," Dak called to his second-in-command. "The sensors are picking up high heat readings from that unknown vessel." Commander Vrock hurried over, her purple skin reflecting the light of the ship's screens. "That's strange. It's too hot for any normal ship. Could it be a weapon charging?" "I don't know," said Dak. "But we should check it out. The Union protocols are clear about unknown ships in this sector." The Star Watcher approached the smaller ship carefully. It had strange markings on its side in an unfamiliar language. "Korea Space Exploration, KSE Horizon." "Open a communication channel," ordered Dak. The main screen flickered, and an alien face appeared. It had only 2 eyes, a small nose, and pale skin. The alien wore a dark blue uniform with patches on the shoulders. "This is Captain Ji-Ho Kim of the Earth vessel KSE Horizon. We are on a peaceful exploration mission," the alien said. "How can we help you?" Dak cleared his throat. "This is Captain Dak of the Galactic Union Patrol. Our sensors detect dangerous heat levels from your ship. Your vessel appears to be on fire. Do you require assistance?" The alien, Captain Kim, looked confused for a moment. Then his face changed in a way Dak didn't understand. The corners of his mouth turned up. "Thank you for your concern, Captain Dak, but we are not on fire," Captain Kim explained. "Our ship operates at what you might consider high temperatures. Humans, that's what we call ourselves, come from a planet with oxygen. We use combustion, engines, and heat-based technology." Commander Vrock leaned close to Dak and whispered, "Combustion? Inside a spaceship? That's insane. You mean you intentionally burn things inside your vessel?" Dak asked, trying to hide his shock. "Yes, that's correct," Kim replied calmly. "It's perfectly safe by our standards. We've been using this technology for centuries. But the risk of fire," Dak started, "is managed by our safety systems," finished Kim. "Perhaps we could meet to discuss our different technologies? We're new to this sector and would appreciate learning about the Galactic Union." Dak looked at Vrock, who shrugged her shoulders. "Very well," Dak said. "We will arrange a meeting, but please keep your burning ship at a safe distance from ours." After the communication ended, Dak turned to his crew. "Contact Union headquarters. Tell them we've made first contact with a new species. They call themselves humans, and they travel in ships that are constantly on fire. By choice." In his office, Dak wrote in his log, "Today we met the humans. They are either the bravest or the most foolish species I've ever encountered. Perhaps both." Little did he know that this meeting would change the Galactic Union forever. 2 weeks after the first contact, the human ship KSE Horizon docked at Starbase 7, a massive space station that served as a diplomatic hub for the Galactic Union. Captain Ji-Ho Kim led a small team including Science Officer Hana Park and Chief Engineer Taewon Lee. The humans were given special quarters equipped with higher temperatures and oxygen-rich air to match their needs. The station's commander, a tall insect-like alien named Zix, had arranged for a formal welcome ceremony. "Welcome to Starbase 7, Zix said, standing at a safe distance from the humans. "We have prepared special containment suits for your visit to other parts of the station. They will protect our residents from your heat emissions." Hana Park smiled politely. "Thank you for your hospitality, Commander Zix. But I believe there's a misunderstanding. We don't emit dangerous levels of heat from our bodies. Our ship uses combustion technology, but we ourselves are quite safe to be around." "Commander," Zix's antennae twitched nervously, "but your internal body temperature is nearly 37 degrees. Most species would consider that a severe fever." Chief Engineer Lee laughed. "For us, that's perfectly normal. We won't set anything on fire just by walking around." Despite these assurances, many aliens kept their distance from the humans during the first days. Some wore protective gear when meeting them. Others watched from a distance, whispering about the fire beings from Earth. Captain Kim was patient. He understood their fear. After all, Most species in the Galactic Union evolved in environments where fire was rare and dangerous. Their technology used cold fusion, quantum manipulation, or photosynthetic energy, all very different from human methods. During a scheduled cultural exchange event, Chief Engineer Lee demonstrated a simple cooking technique using a small, portable stove. The aliens watched in horror and fascination as he deliberately created fire to heat water for tea. "You do this for food preparation?" asked an alien diplomat named Mirok. "Yes," Lee said, pouring the hot water into cups. "Would anyone like to try our tea? It's a traditional Earth beverage." There was a long silence before a young alien scientist named Quill stepped forward. "I will try it," she said bravely. Her colleagues gasped as she took the cup from Lee's hand. Carefully, Quill sipped the hot liquid. Her eyes widened. "It's pleasant. The heat creates interesting sensations." Soon, others became curious. By the end of the event, several aliens had tried human tea. Some even asked for more. That evening, Captain Kim met with his team. "Progress," he said with satisfaction. "They're starting to see us as people, not just walking fire hazards." "Still caught some of them scanning me with heat sensors," Hana pointed out. "They really think we might burst into flames at any moment." "Give them time," Kim replied. "Remember how Earth people reacted to the idea of aliens in our old movies? We feared what we didn't understand, too. What they didn't know was that news about the fire humans was spreading quickly through the Galactic Union. Some saw them as a dangerous anomaly. Others were fascinated by their strange biology and technology. And a few began to wonder, what other surprising abilities might these humans have? The cultural exchange was just beginning, and it would lead to discoveries that would surprise both humans and aliens alike. 3 months after the humans arrived at Starbase 7, life had begun to normalize. The initial fear of the fire beings had mostly faded as more aliens interacted with the human delegation. Captain Ji-Ho Kim and his crew had established regular, diplomatic relations with 12 species from the Galactic Union. But not everyone welcomed the humans. A faction called the Purity Alliance, led by a cold-dwelling species named the Frillans, had been spreading concerns about human technology. "Their combustion engines release carbon compounds," declared Frillan spokesperson Zeal during a Union Council meeting. "Their cooking creates toxic smoke. They are polluting our shared spaces with their primitive fire technology." Science officer Hana Park had tried to explain that human technology had evolved to minimize harmful emissions. But many Union species had evolved in environments where any combustion was dangerous. Then came the day of the crisis. Captain Kim was meeting with Commander Zix when the station's alarms blared. Red lights flashed throughout the corridors. "Emergency." In Docking Bay 14, announced the station's computer. "Fire detected. All personnel evacuate the area." Kim's communicator beeped. "Captain, it's Engineer Lee. There's a problem with our ship. Some kind of sabotage. The fuel lines were tampered with." "I'm on my way," Kim said, then turned to Zix. "Commander, I need to get to my ship." Zix's antennae quivered with fear. "Fire? On my station? This is exactly what the Purity Alliance warned about." "My crew can handle it," Kim assured him. "But I need access to the emergency corridors to get there quickly." As they hurried toward the docking bay, they passed groups of panicking aliens, many pointing at Kim with fear in their eyes. The human brought the fire. "Their ship is going to explode. It will kill us all." When they reached the observation deck above Docking Bay 14, they could see the KSE horizon through the transparent barrier. A small fire was visible near one of the external fuel ports. Station security had sealed the area and were attempting to deploy fire suppression systems, but they were designed for electrical fires, not chemical combustion. "Those won't work," Kim said. "We need to get my crew in there." "Impossible," said a new voice. It was Zeal, the Frillan leader. "We cannot risk more humans near the fire. Your presence will only make it worse." "That's ridiculous," Kim argued. "My engineers know how to handle this type of fire. Your suppression systems will only spread the fuel around." Commander Zix hesitated, caught between protocols and common sense. Engineer Lee's voice came through Kim's communicator again. Captain, we need to act now. The fire is approaching the main oxygen tanks. If it reaches them... Kim didn't wait for permission. He pushed past the security guards and headed for the emergency airlock. Commander Zix, you have two choices. Let my team handle this or evacuate the station before that fire reaches something important. Zix made his decision. Security, allow the humans access to their vessel. Kim, Lee, and two other human engineers entered the docking bay wearing special suits. The aliens watched through the barrier as the humans walked directly toward the fire rather than away from it. They're insane, whispered Zeal. They'll burn alive. But to everyone's amazement, the humans methodically attacked the fire. They used handheld extinguishers specifically designed for chemical fires. They worked together with practiced efficiency, cutting off the fuel source and then methodically suppressing the flames. In less than 20 minutes, the fire was out. When the humans returned to the observation deck, there was stunned silence. Your ship? It's safe now? Asked Commander Zix. Yes, said Kim. We'll need to make repairs, but the danger is over. You walked into fire, said an alien child who had been watching. Weren't you scared? Engineer Lee smiled at the child. On Earth, we have special people called firefighters who do this all the time. They go into burning buildings to save others. We're trained to respect fire, but not to fear it. That evening, the station was buzzing with a new story, how the humans had faced fire without fear. For many aliens, it was their first glimpse of a quality that would soon become legendary throughout the galaxy: human courage in the face of danger. And as for the sabotage, security footage would later reveal members of the Purity Alliance tampering with the Horizon's fuel systems. They had intended to prove how dangerous human technology was, but instead, they had revealed something else entirely about the newcomers to the Galactic Union. 6 months after the fire incident on Starbase 7, the reputation of humans had changed dramatically throughout the Galactic Union. What began as fear of the fire beings had transformed into respect and curiosity. The way Captain Ji-Ho Kim and his crew handled the crisis had impressed many species. The Galactic Union Council had made a surprising request. They wanted a human ship to join a dangerous rescue mission to the Carix Nebula, where 3 science vessels had gone missing after reporting strange energy readings. The nebula contains high levels of flammable gas, explained Union Admiral Zoth during the briefing. None of our ships can safely enter such an environment, but your vessels are already designed to contain and manage fire, finished Captain Kim. You need us because our technology won't be affected by the nebula's conditions. Precisely, nodded Admiral Zoth. Will you accept this mission, Captain? Kim looked at his senior officers. Hana Park and Taewon Lee both nodded. The KSE Horizon is at your service, Kim said. We'll need detailed scans of the nebula and the last known coordinates of the missing ships. 2 days later, the Horizon departed Starbase 7, accompanied by the Union vessel Guardian, which would wait at the edge of the nebula. The journey would take 3 weeks at standard speed. During the trip, the humans invited crew members from the Guardian to visit their ship. Many were still nervous about boarding a vessel powered by controlled combustion, but curiosity overcame fear. Ensign Min-Jae Choi led the tour groups. This is our engine room, he explained to the alien visitors. Yes, we use controlled combustion as part of our propulsion system, but notice all the safety systems we have in place. A tall, bird-like alien named Triel asked, Don't you worry about sleeping on a ship that could catch fire? Min-Jae smiled. Do you worry about sleeping in a ship that could lose air pressure or power? All spaceships have risks. We just manage different ones than you do. As they approached the nebula, the humans held a special dinner for the Guardian's officers. Engineer Lee had prepared traditional Korean dishes, which required cooking with open flame. On Earth, explained Lee as he stirred a pot of bubbling stew, cooking with fire isn't just about preparing food. It's a cultural experience that brings people together. The aliens watched in fascination as Lee controlled the flames with casual ease, turning up or down the heat as needed. Your species has mastered fire in a way we never considered, said the Guardian's captain, a blue-skinned alien named Drez. We always saw it as a destroyer, never as a tool for creation. When they reached the nebula's edge, the Guardian stopped while the horizon continued alone. The massive cloud of gas and cosmic dust glowed with strange colors. Sensors showed it was filled with highly flammable hydrogen and other gases. Any other ship would risk ignition just by passing through that, observed Hannah Park from her science station. But for us, it's just Tuesday. As they entered the nebula, the ship's external sensors detected small flashes all around them. Tiny, natural ignitions caused by the horizon's passage through the gas. To the watching crew of the Guardian, it looked like the human ship was surrounded by a halo of fire. "They're actually on fire now," whispered one of the Guardian's crew in awe. "And they don't even care." Inside the nebula, the horizon's advanced sensors searched for the missing science vessels. The conditions were challenging. Electromagnetic interference disrupted communications, and visibility was poor. After 3 days of searching, they found the first ship. It was drifting, its systems offline. There were no life signs aboard. "Something drained all its power," reported Lee after a preliminary scan. "But the crew, they're just gone." Captain Kim ordered a full recording of all sensor data. They needed to understand what happened before proceeding deeper into the nebula. That night, as most of the crew slept, Hannah Park made a disturbing discovery. "Captain, I've analyzed the sensor logs from the abandoned vessel. There's something alive in this nebula, something that feeds on energy." Kim looked at the readings. "And our ship with its combustion engine is like a beacon to these creatures," Park finished. "We're probably the most energy-rich target they've ever encountered." As if responding to her words, the ship's alarms began to sound. Unknown entities were approaching the horizon from all directions, drawn to the fiery heart of the human vessel. The real test for the humans and their mastery of fire was about to begin. Red alert sirens wailed throughout the KSE horizon as dozens of energy signatures converged on the ship. The crew rushed to their stations while Captain Jiho Kim calmly assessed the situation from the bridge. "Status report," he ordered. "Multiple entities approaching, Captain," responded Science Officer Hannah Park. "They appear to be drawn to our engine's thermal signature. They're unlike anything in Union records." Through the viewports, the crew could see them, glowing, translucent creatures that resembled jellyfish, pulsing with blue-green light as they drifted through the nebula gases. The largest were the size of shuttlecraft. "They're beautiful," whispered Communications Officer Soo-Jin Kang. "And potentially deadly," added Hannah. "Scans indicate they absorbed all energy from the missing science vessels. They likely feed on energy sources." Engineer Taewon Lee's voice came through the comm system. "Captain, they're attempting to attach to our hull near the engine sections. Temperature spikes detected where they make contact." "Defensive options?" asked Kim. "Standard shields are ineffective," said Security Chief Jun Seo-yoon. "They pass right through our energy barriers. Weapons might damage them, but I don't recommend firing unless necessary. Could ignite the nebula gases around us." "Captain," Kim thought quickly. These creatures weren't attacking, they were feeding. The horizon was like a bright light attracting hungry moths. "Lee, can we adjust our engine output? Create a pattern of heating and cooling?" Kim asked. "Yes, sir." "What do you have in mind?" "If they're attracted to heat, let's communicate with them through temperature variations," Kim suggested. "Hannah, analyze their movement patterns, see if there's any recognizable intelligence there." For the next hour, the crew of the Horizon attempted something unprecedented: communication through controlled temperature fluctuations. The engine room team carefully modulated the ship's external heat emissions, creating patterns that the creatures seemed to respond to. Gradually, the creatures adjusted their behavior. Instead of clustering randomly around the hottest parts of the ship, they began to position themselves in symmetric patterns. "They're intelligent," Hannah confirmed, studying the sensor data. "And they're trying to communicate back. The patterns of light they're emitting have mathematical properties, prime numbers, Fibonacci sequences." "Can we establish meaningful contact?" asked Kim. Hannah worked with Communications Officer Kang to develop a translation system. They created a simple mathematical language based on temperature and light pulses. Slowly, understanding emerged. The creatures, which the crew named thermivores, were native to the nebula. They normally fed on the natural energy released by stellar phenomena within the gas cloud. The Galactic Union science vessels had been the first artificial energy sources they'd ever encountered. They didn't mean to harm the crews, explained Hana after several hours of communication. They didn't understand that the ships were vessels containing living beings. They were just drawn to the energy. And the missing crew members? Asked Kim. The thermivores say they transported them to a safe place when they realized the ships were failing. A habitable moon orbiting a gas giant deeper in the nebula. Kim made his decision. Set course for the coordinates they provided. We need to find those missing scientists. The thermivores escorted the horizon through the nebula, guiding it safely through dangerous gas pockets that could have ignited even the human ship's protective systems. When they reached the moon, they found all 3 missing crews alive. The thermivores had created habitats for them using materials from their damaged ships, maintaining proper atmospheric conditions until help could arrive. Using the Horizon shuttles, the humans evacuated all 73 survivors from the moon. The rescued scientists were amazed to see humans working comfortably in an environment their own species could never have entered. "You came through the Fire Nebula to save us?" asked one of the rescued scientists, a small amphibian-like alien named Dr. Pell. "But how?" Engineer Lee smiled. "Where others see danger, humans see opportunity. Fire has been our companion since the earliest days of our civilization. We've learned to respect it, use it, and yes, sometimes walk through it when necessary." As the horizon emerged from the nebula with the rescued scientists and new knowledge about the thermivores, the waiting Guardian crew cheered. News of the successful rescue spread quickly through Galactic Union channels. In the following months, a permanent communication station was established at the nebula's edge to maintain contact with the thermivores. Humans staffed the station, as they were the only species who could safely travel into the nebula if maintenance was needed. 6 months after the rescue mission, Captain Ji-Ho Kim stood before the Galactic Union Council. They had summoned him for a special announcement. "Captain Kim, your actions have demonstrated the unique qualities that your species brings to the Galactic Union," said the council leader. "What some feared as dangerous, your mastery of fire and heat, proved to be exactly what was needed in a crisis no other species could have handled." The council formally invited Earth to become a full member of the Galactic Union. Humans would have special status as crisis responders, using their unique relationship with fire to help in situations too dangerous for other species. As Kim accepted the honor on behalf of Earth, he remembered something his grandmother had told him when he was a child. Fire can warm your home or burn it down. The difference is in how you respect it, understand it, and use it wisely. Humans had carried fire among the stars and in doing so, had lit a new path for the entire Galactic Union.